UFC Fight Night, Cop versus Almabayev. I'm Andy from Winning in the Shadows and Wager Talk. Jim has been very, very sick this week. He's just been able to get out of bed yesterday. He's not done any research. He's just been trying to hold it together over there. So it's just me today. We'll rip through these fights pretty quick. It's not a great card. So if there was a week to not to be sick and not do the show, Jim picked a good one. So go and hit the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell us who you like this week. If you don't have a hot take, you don't have a comment, just type the word cash because we have been cashing a lot of winners this week. We'll get to that in a second because we have a 30-day pass special that we're running this week. All right, let's just get right into the fights, and we'll start with Montana De La Rosa and Luana Carolina. Pretty decent win for De La Rosa against Andrea Lee. It was a split, but breaks a losing stretch for her. She leaves a lot to be desired, Montana De La Rosa does, but so does Carolina. And even though Carolina has won 3 in a row, I mean, let's be honest, this level of competition is not that good. Pudilova and Slorenko and Petrovic, not exactly world beaters. My problem with Carolina is that she just doesn't throw enough with those long legs and long arms of her. When she does, they're super annoying to opponents. They're just these like stinging, digging shots, but she just doesn't throw enough of them. I think that Montana De La Rosa probably is going to have a little bit more advantage in the takedown and the ground game. So if I'm looking at who's going to come out on top of this one, I can't stand these fighters that have no volume. It just doesn't look great to the judges. And I think Montana De La Rosa just has just a little bit more. She has a few more paths to victory here because her striking's okay, but I think she can clinch. She can grind out some control time. So Montana De La Rosa is going to be the pick here in that one. Move on to Charles Johnson and Temirov. This guy just he just comes in and swings for the fences. Like, do not blink. We have not seen him in rounds 2 or 3 since February of 2022 because he just is sparking dudes in the first round. And he swings so hard, but man, is it wild. Now, listen, 18-2, you can't really bash him for it, but it's just wild to watch him come in and swing for the fences here. And I think this is a nice matchup for Charles Johnson. I like what we've seen from Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson, known for just taking any fight. He's here to get paid. He makes no bones about it. But look at this nice winning streak here, 4 in a row. And what I like about him is he's got really good cardio still left in round 3. I think he's going to be able to stay away from Temirov. I think he's going to be a little bit taller. And that's going to help him with the length and the distance because I think once Charles Johnson just weathers the early storm, I think he's going to pull away with his volume, maybe get some clinch work in there. But I just Temirov, if he doesn't get the early knockout, I really worry about what skill set he's going to have the later the fight goes. I think Charles Johnson's got, again, more paths to victory here. So I'll take Charles Johnson by decision. If you're going to bet Temirov, you're probably betting by KO. I think this might be where his winning streak gets snapped here. So I think Charles Johnson puts on a nice, solid veteran performance and gets the win. Andrea Lee and JJ Aldrich, I do not know what happened to Andrea Lee. Like, you watch her and you're like, you should be winning a lot more of these fights. But she's lost 5 in a row. She beat Baby Chef Chaco and Cynthia Calvillo. Before that, lost to Roxanne Modafferi and Lauren Murphy and Julian Wood. And I test you like, yeah, she's not bad. But this losing to Montana De La Rosa on the split was really bad. That fight was there for the taking. She just looks like she slowed down. Her striking isn't there. She gets hit. She just feels like she's always fighting off her back foot. That's what I've been taking away from her. She's never the one engaging and pushing forward. And when she does, it's kind of shorter periods of time. And she just looks like she's getting a little bit older. I know she's only 36, but she's got a lot of fights and she's just been losing these. Now, this level of competition's been pretty good, but man, losing to Mravik and Montana De La Rosa, and now you get JJ Aldrich, who is not great either. She'll look good in one round and then bad in another round and then good in another round, and she's all over the place. Aldrich is coming off of a pretty nice win, 13-7. Or I'm sorry, coming off of a loss to Veronica Hardy, but I thought she performed actually well in that fight. She's going to be the lean, but at minus 200, which I think it is, it's just not bettable. So there's no way I'm going to bet this fight. The overs are juiced to the gills, so you got to use them as a parlay piece. I don't see a finish in that one. So playing the overs on something, it's part of your parlay, but it's certainly not a confident pick. So not betting this one with my own money for sure. Lucas Almeida and Danny Silva. Lucas Almeida, nice win against Timmy Kwamba, who I like Timmy Kwamba. I think he's a pretty decent fighter, so I thought that aged pretty well. Losing to getting finished by Pat Sabatini and Andre Fili, not great looks. Not great looks. He does have power, and he's going up against Danny Silva, who squeaked out a nice win against Josh Kulibao. Had a pretty good fight against Angel Pacheco on Contender Series. Looked really good in that one. With Silva, like he'll have these bigger moments, but over the course of the round, I'm wondering if it's just going to be enough because he doesn't throw a lot of volume, and he doesn't have he doesn't have these like huge moments where he knocked a guy down. Then that's the biggest moment of the round. I just don't really see that from him too consistently. And Almeida, like I thought his win against Kwamba, I thought he showcased what he can do over 3 rounds. I think his striking is going to be a little bit better. His volume looked good. His accuracy looked really good. And he did really visible damage to Kwamba, who's a good striker. So I'll take Almeida in this one to get the win over Danny Silva. Should be a good fight. Should be a close one. But I think it may come down to Almeida just having a couple of bigger moments to squeak out some of those rounds. Douglas Silva de Andrade and John Castaneda. Does this fall into fade the old fighter theory? I mean, you got de Andrade, who's 39, doesn't look like he's 39. You could say he doesn't fight like he's 39. So tough loss against Miles Johns, but he does get the win against Cody Stamen. Loses against Said Nurmagomedov. Like when he's losing to pretty damn good competition. He does always seem to be undervalued. And again, he's going to be the plus 200, an underdog in this one. I'm a Castaneda fan. I've done well betting on him. I bet against him against Daniel Marcos, and Daniel Marcos like did a good job fighting him. Douglas de Andrade is very low volume. He doesn't throw enough strikes. He just doesn't. Castaneda can get the wrestling in. De Andrade is tough to take down, but at 39, is he still going to have it? I don't know if he's on the same medical regime as Brownie Barsalos. Maybe he comes in, he looks like he's 29, and then maybe John Castaneda looks like he's the older one. So I would take overs in this one. I think both guys are really durable. Whoever you think win, I think you could take them by decision. Both guys have decent cardio that they can go the distance. My lean will be John Castaneda. I think he's just going to overcome the lack of volume coming from Andrade, and if he gets a takedown, it's probably good enough to win the round. And I think on the feet, he's just going to throw a few more shots. So I'll take Castaneda to win by decision on this one. Ricardo Ramos and Chepe Mariscal. I'm not a Chepe guy. Credit to him. He's come into UFC and somehow he has not lost. He gets the win against Trevor Peek when that was the fight we discovered Trevor Peek doesn't have cardio to go 3 rounds. He beats Jap Jenkins when Jap Jenkins breaks his arm or shoulder. Then he gets the win against Morgan Charrier in a fight. I thought Morgan Charrier was clearly the winner. So you get those 3 random ones, and then he fights old man Damon Jackson. Now you got Ricardo Ramos, who, man, you just never want to be in a position where you got money on Ricardo Ramos. So he'll do some really dumb things, like get choked out by Julia De Rosa and Charles Jourdain by doing the exact same thing. But the thing is, like, he got choked out, like, because he knocked him down and jumped on top of it. he's got his moments, I guess is what I'm saying. He shows these really dumb moments, but he'll have some really good moments. Against Kulibao, one worry has to be that his leg got damaged very early on in that fight. So you got to wonder if Chepe does that. Um, it's such a juiced matchup here that there's really not much you can do it. I'm not laying this like minus 450 on Chepe because I just don't buy him. There's going to be a spot where he's going to be a big time fade. I just don't think this is it. Ramos is going to do a nice job throwing some different types of punch, like spinning back fists and spinning elbows. And those are really good. But in the end, I think Chepe is going to clinch. I think he's going to wrestle. I think Chepe's just got ahead of Granite, so I don't see a knockout coming from Ramos. And Ramos, in the end, is just going to make a bunch of dumb decisions. So nothing in this one for me. I would like to take the over, but it's Ricardo Ramos. Anything's possible. I don't see Chepe getting knocked out, but could Ramos get knocked out? Absolutely. Could he get choked out? Yeah, absolutely. It happens to to him all the time. I think this is going to be a close fight in the third if it gets to that point, and I would be terrified if I had Chepe in parlays. Now, if Ramos does his typical dumb thing, then Chepe is going to waltz to a victory. But I can't lay minus 450 on Chepe, even though it is against Ricardo Ramos. At the same time, one of my rules in life is you don't want to ever be in a situation where you have money on Ricardo Ramos. So this will be a pass for me. All right, guys, we mentioned that we're running a 30-day pass. Let's see. Let's pull up our pass here. We're calling it 1 month, one goal. Build your bankroll. This is really important, guys. Building your bankroll and treating your bankroll like a business is what we do. It's what me and my team do. You guys know Corbin, you know Jim. Now we brought in our buddy Jan to do all of our cricket plays, and that's what you get when you get all of our plays. You don't get just one handicapper; you're getting four. So far this week, we're 11-1 all sports. We have won plays in tennis, in NHL, in NBA, in lacrosse, and even in golf already because we hit at the TGL on Tuesday. We're up 36 units just this year, and that was even when we got started off to a bad start of January. So building bankrolls is what we do. All of these plays that we put out, these are plays that we bet with our own money. There's no funny business here. There's no like firing away a big play just for sale's sake. Like this is what we do for a living. We build bankrolls, and we've been doing it for a long time. So we're going to run a 30-day special. You're going to get $100 off, and that gets all of our plays, all sports, all percentages, everything. We can help you build your bankroll. We've been proving it year after year after year. So 30 days is a really, really good time period to see what we can do for you, see how we can help improve your bankroll. Because if you're watching this and you're treating your bankroll like a business, then you're the exact kind of person that we want to work with. So give it a thought, jump in. Like I said, we started running this on Tuesday. Since then, we've gone 11-1. So if you got this on Tuesday when we first started the special, it's paid for itself and then some. So take advantage of that. Just go to my page at wagertalk.com. And as always, I want to full disclosure about all of our records. 2025, we have 176 wins, 123 losses. It's plus 36.5 units, 6.6% ROI. And this every Monday we do our last 7 days recap. So you can kind of see what the 7 days before was. We have NBA, NHL, UFC, golf, tennis, cricket, lacrosse, and darts, all those sports included. So take advantage of that. Let's build these bankrolls together, guys. All right, let's get on to the main event. A banger, Austen Lane and Mario Pinto. Mario Pinto was a big favorite on Contender Series, and he did what he was supposed to do. Knocked out Camacho. Really wasn't close. Pinto's interesting because he doesn't. It's like really deceiving power. Like that knockout of Camacho it was like this jab, but it was just perfectly thrown, perfect landing. He's really, really good. I think he's going to do well in UFC. So they're giving a really nice matchup in Austen Lane, who, Austen Lane, former football player. All right, let's just go to his win against Rebels to Spain, who has like the worst takedown defense ever. And Austen Lane, credit to him. He took advantage of it. Like he got to Spain down and didn't let him up. He tried to do it against Denise earlier, and it got tired and he got knocked out. That's the Austen Lane experience. Is he's just not a super polished MMA fighter. He's big and tough and athletic and he can hit hard, but he makes mistakes. Like he walked right into a Justin Tafa punch. It was silly. There was no reason to be dancing around trying to get in a firefight with Justin Tafa. So can he wrestle and take Pinto down? I don't think so, man. I watched Pinto go 5 rounds and his cardio was fine. I think Pinto's going to weather the Austen Lane storm just fine. And on the feet, someone's going to get sparked. But again, Austen Lane doesn't show the best defense in the world. I'm fading Austen Lane. Now, Mario Pinto is like minus 375. I would take Mario Pinto by knockout. Austen Lane's he's going to get chin checked. I can see it coming. So Pinto by KO is going to be the pick in this one for me. Danny Barlow and Sam Patterson. I love Sam Patterson in this matchup. This is kind of I don't want to say striker grappler, but Danny Barlow's big strength is his power in that left hand. This Veretennikov fight, like, had a bad weight cut. He broke his hand in this, and it ended up being just a really, really boring fight. But you look at his power. I mean, he smoked this guy on Contender Series. Beats Josh Quinlan with a knockout late. So he's got power. I just think Sam Patterson's going to test this ground game. I mean, 2 straight submissions in the first round for Sam Patterson. We were right on both of those. We loved him on Contender Series, and then he comes in and he gets smoked by Ajmus, who just landed the perfect shot at the perfect time. It kind of came out of nowhere. And that's Sam Patterson's biggest problem is he will get hit. He's super tall, but he leaves his chin wide open. His 2 losses as a pro are by knockout. So he's going to have to stay away from the big left hand of Barlow. But if he does, and he gets this to ground, he has got wicked submission. I'm getting like plus 240, plus 250 on Sam Patterson. I can't pass that up. You want to get even juicier? You can take Sam Patterson by submission because I think that's his path to victory. I don't think he's KOing Danny Barlow. And if it goes to decision, my guess is Barlow probably lands more on the feet. So I like Sam Patterson to get the win here by submission. William Gomis and Hyder Amil. Hyder Amil 10-0, and I just thoroughly enjoy his fights. They're exciting. 2 finishes in his first 2 UFC fights. This is going to be a pretty big step up in competition. He's got good cardio. He's got good striking. He's got good volume. He's got good pressure. He will get hit because he leaves himself open. And you got Gomis, who has this really strange kind of stance. It's kind of karate-esque. If Jim were here, he would be able to explain it a little bit better. But nice win against Joe Anderson Brito. He split decision, so it could have gone either way. But I was not impressed with Gomis when he made his UFC debut, and he barely beats Francis Marshall. And then Giannis Gamori's terrible, but credit to Gomis, he did what he had to do. And I thought this is a really good statement win against a tough opponent here in Brito. So what's Gomis's path to victory? Well, it's stay away from the volume striking of Amil, keep that distance, try and work some wrestling and some clinch work against the fence. I think that'll wear on Hyder Amil's gas tank. William Gomis as this big of a favorite, I don't know if I can get there on that. He's like over minus 220 at this point. I think this is just going to come down to pace. Who controls the pace? Can Hyder Amil turn this into a firefight? Can he get Gomis to stand there and throw wild punches and not be as, tactical with his kicks and his punches? Can Hyder Amil push Gomis forward, or can Gomis push Amil up against the fence and grind out some of this time? I think the pick for me is going to be Hyder Amil. I think this is really a lot more close to a pick 'em than it is for Gomis to be like minus 225 or minus 220. I am fully prepared to look foolish on this one, but I get a guy that's 10-0. I know he's a little bit up there in age, 34, but I like what I've seen from Hyder Amil. This guy's just never going to quit. And when it comes down to it, if you got a really, really close round, I think Hyder Amil can be the guy that does a little bit more. So Hyder Amil at 2-1 will be the pick for me. Nasrat, Haqparast, and Esteban Ribovics. I really like Ribovics in this spot. He's minus 250. I think it's a pretty solid parlay piece. I just was really impressed with how he beat Daniel Zellhuber. I was not big on Ribovics. Like, he makes his UFC debut and he loses to Loic, and to be honest, looked pretty bad doing it. And then he fights Kamala Kirk. That fight was awful. But then credit to him, he sparks Terrence McKinney early, gets it, and you're like, it's Terrence McKinney. But this fight against Daniel Zellhuber, I mean, I like Daniel Zellhuber. He's got really good length. He's got good striking, and Ribovics put it on him. The volume was there. The pressure was there. And what I loved is he looked great in the third round. So I'm starting to come around on Ribovics. I'm impressed with the improvements that he's made. Haqparast, I mean, it's always a weight cut issue with this guy. Like it just, it's always something. I think he throws decent enough volume, but I'm just not. I'm not real sold on on Nasrat in this one, just because I don't think he's going to have the volume, and I don't think he's going to have the speed to move around. So, Nasrat, it's he's a good striker. I've done well, making money on him, but like, he knocked out Jamie Malarkey, and other than that, his fights just always kind of, they go the distance. Like, he's a distance machine. Like, getting the first round knockout of Jamie Malarkey is certainly the outlier. And if this goes the distance, which I expect it to, I just think Ribovics at the end is just going to have more volume. So I'm not playing Ribovics on its own. If you want to take Ribovics by decision, that makes sense. I would get that. So with Ribovics, I think the volume's going to be there. Get him to get it. Cody Brundage, Julian Marquez. What an odd co-main. Very strange. There's just no way I'm betting on Julian Marquez as a favorite. I mean, this guy's durability's gone. Like, Gregory Rodriguez brutalized him. Marc-Andre Barrios brutalized him. Zach Reese, 20 seconds in, he body kicks him and knocks him out. It's just, yeah. Once your chin's that gone, I just can't. I'm not betting on you laying juice. I can't believe he's a favorite, but it is Cody Brundage. This is a guy that's always something with. Most fighters go their entire career without having a fight stopped because of blows to the back of the head. Somehow this guy's done it twice in his last 4 fights. I'll never get over this Jacob Malkoun. There's one of the worst referee decisions I've ever seen. Malkoun is just absolutely beating his brakes off. Cody Brundage rolls over. Malkoun brushes the back of his head. The ref disqualifies him. Again, against Alisson. Alisson is just beating him up bad as Brundage is trying to take him to the ground. Now, Alisson did hit him in the back of the head, 100%. This one was absolutely legit. But for this one to be a no contest and the Malkoun one to be a DQ is just laughable. So, his other win, Zach Reese, Zach Reese is on his back, gets a triangle. Brundage picks him up and knocks him out. I don't know what Brundage's path to victory is. I guess it's wrestling and take him on the ground. And I think he can do that. But I also think if he touches the chin of Marquez, there's a chance Marquez goes down. So I don't know what Marquez's path to victory is. I guess it's come flying in and knock Brundage out, which I guess he can do. Like, these wins against Alvi and Pitolo, like, they go down as chokes, but they were set up because of the striking. So, like, he is a striker despite these, rear naked chokes. I got Cody Brundage as the underdog here. It's just all about the chin of Marquez. The guy's 9-5, fighting in a co-main after being knocked out 3 times in a row. So don't blink. I think this one could be over pretty quick, but Brundage will be the pick. Kape and Almabayev. I just thought Kape looked great in his fight against Bruno Silva. I mean, the blemish, Makayev. Listen, Makayev just wrestled and grappled and took him down, and Kape just couldn't get anything going. But other than that, Kape, you got to go back to, losing a split decision to Nicolau Pantoja, and I think Kape has looked really good. I getting the knockout in round 3, but also his cardio looked like on point, and it was just like that reminder of, like, man, this guy's striking is so good. So I think he gets the win here. He's a rightful favorite. I like Almabayev, but Yeah, like, what's his path to victory over Cop? I just don't think it's going to be on the feet because I think Cop has the better striking. Is it going to be on the ground? Yeah, I guess it could be, but for 5 rounds, that just seems like a tall task for Almabayev to win, 3 out of 5 rounds or to get a submission. I mean, that's the thing is Almabayev, is he going to fight like Makayev did? If he does, maybe he can squeak out some rounds. If it was a 3-round fight, I'd give him a much better chance. But I just don't think you're going to see it for 5 rounds. So I think Cop is the play here. Again, it's juicy, but I just can't get there on Almabayev. If it was 3 rounds, yeah, I could see him making a case for it. But I think it's Cop on the feet. I'm not sure he gets the KO because I think early on he's going to be kind of saving his gas tank a little bit. No reason to go too hard too early in this one. So I expect Cop by decision in this one. So quick recap here. Geez. I mean, Montana De La Rosa and Luana Kira. Actually, we're not doing the recap. Let's do the parlay buster here. My parlay buster is going to be Danny Barlow. I think everyone's going to see Sam Patterson go, wow, that guy's tall, and he leaves his chin wide open. He's going to get hit in Barlow's left hand of God, and I think they're going to put him all in parlays, and don't be surprised if Sam Patterson's wrapping up a choke or submission or something. So I'll go Danny Barlow as the parlay buster, and my woulda, coulda, shoulda. Let's see. The woulda, coulda, shoulda is the bet that afterwards we're like, man, why didn't we lay the farm on that one? I'm going to go Mario Pinto by KO. I'll get real specific here. Mario Pinto by KO. Austen Lane just so sloppy, leaves himself wide open, doesn't have a good gas tank. Pinto does. So Pinto by KO, I think will be my woulda, coulda, shoulda. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. Thanks so much. And do not forget to grab that 30-day special. We do not run these specials very often. You're going to get $100 off our 30-day pass. Again, we're at 11-1 run in all sports this week. This package includes all plays. It includes all plays for myself, all plays from Corbin and Jim and Jan as well. So you're getting basically 4 handicappers here. So we're number one last 365 days, number one last 2 years, and we're already in the top 3 for most units gained in 2025. So take advantage of that. Good luck on all your plays, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks so much, and we'll see everyone later.